What's up, everybody? It's your boy J Max. So today you're seeing that everybody's off, everybody a little slow on cash, a lot of people's not working. This video is pretty much teaching people how to do an oil change. Now, I purchased a car in last year, October, whatever, did a quick oil change on it, did a couple of passes. So now I decided that it would be a good thing to get the engine oil change. So I'm gonna give you guys a short, or try to be as brief as possible on how to do your own oil changes, because a lot of us don't have money, a lot of us don't have jobs, and even if it applies to you, your mechanic is closed. So I'm gonna teach you guys how easy it is, because I haven't done it. So I'm gonna learn as I'm going. I'm gonna teach you guys how it is to change your oil on your G37. So the things that you're going to need. Alright, so things you're gonna need: your oil. I don't really care about the type of oil I use, as long as it's something you trust. I'm going with the 5W40 for this one. You need your oil filter. You need some wrenches. I don't know if it's 14 or 17. You need a jack stand. I want to stress the importance of having a jack stand and a wheel chuck. These are two very important things. We're gonna get to that in a minute. I have a little bit of oil, like absorbents, whatever they call this thing here. So in case some oil drops on a driveway, I can immediately sprinkle that on the ground so that it doesn't ruin it. So here I have a liquid moly engine flush. Because this guy has he pretty much neglected the maintenance on it. I don't know what's going on inside of the motor, so I'm gonna pretty much put in this liquid moly engine flush. You run this in the car, hot engine, for about 5 minutes, and then you drain the engine. You drain the oil out of the engine. So let's get that pretty much poured in. Don't worry guys, I'm still stock, everything's still stock. I'll get to that eventually. I don't know the condition of the oil, but it doesn't matter. So you pour that inside of the oil. You pour that in your oil, and you run the engine for about 5 to 10 minutes. I'm not gonna drive it, I'm just gonna turn the car on and have it idle for a while. So while the car is running, I'm gonna go ahead and use my wheel chuck. I can't stress how important wheel chocks are. You wanna always chalk your wheels. Always chalk your wheels. I remember watching a post on one of the forums. This kid was doing his oil change, or working on his car, and the car fell on it because he didn't have the right protection in place. So this is why you need a wheel chuck, and you need jack stand. So when the car is in the air, in case the jack fails, your jack stand will save you. So we're gonna let this car run for a minute, and we're gonna get back to the. All right, so that we have just ran the car for about 5 to 10 minutes. Very important, very important. very important, a jack stand. All right, let's get these let's get this custom skid plate off. Frick's sakes. So you want to take your 14mm now and turn. So let's see if we could get as little oil spillage as possible. I've been doing this quite a while now, so I think I should be alright. Alright, so you want to take it on and then pull. So that's simple. No oil spillage on your hands. Get the gloves. Let that bad boy drain. So while that's draining, I'll just put the usually an oil filter is supposed to be tightened wrist tight by your hands. I've done oil changes before where this thing is so well on there, you have to take like something and poke a hole in it and to get it out, or else it doesn't come out. So you always wanna tighten it wrist tight. So that the oil filter is out now. You just let it drain. Just watch the oil as it's coming out, because sometimes it does drip and blow around like it's doing now. It's draining. You want to just poke a hole in your oil, take a little bit and lubricate the seals. So that way when you put it in, it doesn't get all worn out or dried out or whatever. You have a little bit of lubrication on it. Preserve it from tearing or failure. So you just want to cover this back up because you don't want to kick that down. Just wipe up all the excessive oil that's here before you put your filter back on. And this is what people go to the dealership or oil changes to spend all this money. And not only that, it takes a lot of time too. They take a lot of time, a long time to do it. So you change your oil, right? You tighten it wrist tight, right? Not too much, just wrist tight. You make sure that your old seal is off, and I guess just a little bit of oil will be left over from the old oil. And you want to make sure your drain plug, the seal is on here, the washer, and then you just gently plug it back. Right. So once that's done draining, you wipe up the old oil that's left over. This pan definitely needs to be changed. It looks a little rusty out, but I'll get to that eventually. Not right. All right, so that after putting on your oil plug, always remember to tighten it back. So you want to push downwards. You want to push downwards, right? Make sure it's tight, not too tight. Everyone's different. I like to pay a little attention to these little details. You know, some people go out and buy jewelry, make designer clothes. I like to have everything on hand. when I need it. That will slow down the rusting a little bit. Doesn't look too bad now. All right, so now that we have finished tightening up our filter, tightening up our drain plug, you want to pour the oil inside of there now. And if you never knew, the reason for this design is so that you could pour the oil without having it go goom, goom, goom. So you want to pour the oil from this side, so you get a more smooth flow of oil. So a good oil check, right? You dip your hand in the fresh oil, right? Then you dip your hand in the old oil, and you see the difference. It's not a whole lot. This is why you should do your oil changes regularly. Don't wait till 8,000 and 7,000. Do your oil changes, you know, around 4:45 to 5. And if you're racing, you want to do it a little earlier, about 45. So usually I do my oil changes about 5,000 to 5,500 kilometers, but because I'm racing now, I'll try to do it a little earlier. But for 5 liters, I think it should be good for now compared to what I got back out of the motor. Either it's burning oil, or because I went racing for the past couple of times and it just dried out. It just I'm pretty sure that's probably about 3 to 4 liters right there. That's pretty low, but we'll check it when it's done. All right, so I went racing with this car with pretty much about 2.5 quarts of oil, which is 100% no. This should have about 5 liters in there, and this is half full. This is about half full, so that's all the oil that was in here. That's a rookie mistake on my end. I'll take responsibility for that. So now that the oil is pretty much topped up, let's see if the performance changes tonight. So I guess it's just a matter of time before I really see if the oil actually had a role to play in the performance of the car. So now that oil is topped up, she looks good, right? Just one of my buddies told me use a 5W40. The other one said use a 5W30. So I guess I would have to do some research on that. Not saying that I don't appreciate anyone's opinion. You know, everyone will have a different opinion for me. So I'll run the 5W40 for now, and the next oil change I'll switch back to the 5W30. So now that my oil's topped up, I will put it on the road where it's leveled, check the oil, and go from there. So that's my old oil. This is my new oil. So I was definitely starving this car. while racing it at high RPMs. It probably burnt out quite some oil because it's been a couple of nights, couple of runs, so it probably burnt out some of the oil from the high revving. But let's see the performance tonight. Wrench, you're gonna need your oil catch can, you're gonna need a funnel, you're gonna need whatever oil you decide to use. That's not my job to tell you what type of oil or what, you know, whatever it is. I put a little over 5 liters because of the fact that I'm going to be racing the car, so I will be at high RPM, so chances are I'm going to burn out some of the oil. You're going to need a jack stand, you're going to need a jack and a wheel chuck. Two important things is the jack stand and the wheel chuck, so you want to at least cut all chances of the car rolling while you're working on the car. So other than that, it's pretty simple. You turn your I guess your oil filter wrist tight when you tighten it up, and don't forget to tighten your oil drain plug. So other than that, I hope I covered all the bases and how easy it is to do an oil changes. It could probably take me a couple of minutes. The fact that I have to jack the car up and remove a lot of panels, it probably took me about half hour to 40 minutes because of the extra work that I had to do. So while I was in there, because I just bought the car, I use a liquid moly engine flush. So this is probably like a one-time use for me to just to flush the engine out a little bit, and hopefully the car performs a little better tonight. So if this video was helpful to you, don't forget to smash that like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you gotta do, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.